This is the cactus, and this is what we're going to be using today. And you can see they're very thin. So see how thin they are. So from this morning, you saw that. And you can see the spines. And they come in different sizes. So we're going to do a big one and a small one for the recipe. And the recipe we're going to start with is a cactus pad salad. So this is a salad you can eat in the spring and all throughout warm months. We're going to have roasted red bell pepper and orange segments. So we're going to use all of those, and then we're going to have a little bit of crunch in there, which is going to be some pumpkin seed, and we'll make a salad dressing. So step one, whenever you're, and I'm putting gloves on because I want to try and not get the prickers in my fingers. Okay, so step one is I'm going to cut the edge off my cactus.
Do they usually sell them like pretty much like de-pricklized or whatever?
No.
Okay.
You can buy them cut and de-prickerized, but you can't get them whole like this.
Okay.
So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our knife and go down the cactus, and you're going to notice that the knife is getting these little circles off. And those are, can you guys see the prickers? And I have one towel that we already got prickers on, and then I'm just gonna put that towel in the wash when we're done, because this has all the prickers. But you can see here, my knife is removing, and that's because the prickers are raised, okay? So my knife, as I scrape it, is removing those areas, and I'm using this part as my handle. This I'm using to hold so that I can get those prickers off, okay? So whatever my knife doesn't get, that, and you can see there's still a couple that I didn't get off. So I'm gonna take a small knife and I'm gonna go in individually and get those prickers off, okay?
Can you like burn them off or char them off?
When you're harvesting, yes. At this stage, no.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good question. And a lot of times in the wild, people will use a flame to get off prickers, okay? So this is almost done. I have one more there, pricker. And then you're just brushing it down. Okay, so that's one side. Now we have to flip it over and do the other side. So here, see, we have all the prickers again. I'm gonna take my knife and go as flat as I can, getting all those prickers off. Okay, so whatever my big knife can't do, that's when I go in with small knife and get out the prickers. And because they're raised, they should come right off. And then Walter did a bunch, so let's show you what, I'm gonna do one more for you guys. Oh, this should go off. Okay, so I still have some here, and we're gonna cut off those prickers. Okay. Well, do you have the cut ones? And then in between each one, it's probably a good idea to wipe your cutting board All right, so that looks pretty good. I want to take my towel and wipe off. Nice. And wipe off. I still see one here. I'm going to try and get that guy. And get that off. So now what I want to do is wipe the cuttings, which you can put, you know, outside back in the compost. I'm going to put mine on this tray here. And then I'm going to do one more so you guys can see one more cactus. Okay, so step one, cut the outside off. Go all the way around, cut outside off, and then remove. Use the handle, and then you're going to take your knife and get off prickers. And after you do it for a while, I've seen people do it so quickly, it's pretty amazing. But I've only seen it in Mexico. Okay, so let's do the other side. Prickers. And you can also do scraping. Get this one off. And then I'm going to go in with my small knife and get rid of those prickers. And then, don't you love cooking classes because they're all magic? Here is the ones that Walter did, and they're beautiful. So get that off. And then once I've gotten the prickers off, I'm going to cut my handle off because I no longer need the handle. Can you just get that and get rid of it? There it is. All right. Maybe put it in the other room, huh? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to rinse off the two pads that we did. I want to get all those prickers off my cutting board. And I'm going to rinse the cactus pad. Okay, and then we can bring it back and just take a look. So I do see one more here I can get. One more here. And one more there. And as soon as you wet the cactus, you're gonna start to see the gel. And that's normal. So here's one more, let's get rid of that. Okay. And then this one, I'm gonna also cut off the handle, okay? So now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ready to cook the cactus. And the best way we do that is we're thinking salad. So how do we want, what size do we want? I like the size little strips. So I'm gonna cut strips, which are gonna go in the boiling water. And I'm gonna take my gloves off now because the cactus is safe to handle because we don't have prickers. So we're gonna cut pieces. That's a nice sized piece. That's approximately the size that I want to put in my mouth. I don't want really a long piece. So I'm gonna just cut crosswise. And then when you touch it, you will see a little of that aloe vera liquid. And that's okay. We're just gonna cut it. And in the thicker part of the cactus, you can see there's green and then there's white. So let's do a couple more. The water is boiling in the background. And as soon as that water boils, I'll be able to put these in. Let's go ahead and get ice. We're actually doing a technique called blanching. And what we want to do after we cook it is we want to put it in ice water. So I'm going to get a bowl and put some ice in it. So after it boils, it can blanch, and that will shock it or stop the cooking process. A lot of times chefs will do this with asparagus. Maybe you do it with carrots. Maybe you do it with broccoli. And it not only keeps the vegetable green, so it keeps its bright color, because as soon as you take it out of the flame, it continues to cook. So you don't want it to continue to cook. You want it to stop cooking. And so here we have nice bowl. We're going to do a couple more of these, and the water will get ready. Anybody have any questions so far? Okay.
Do you know what the nutritional value of this is? Does it have like mineral or vitamins or anything?
So it does have vitamins, and actually, Brandon, can you simultaneously pull that up on your computer and tell the class?
Okay.
Yeah, so it does have vitamins. The biggest property of cactus is its ability to regulate blood sugar. So it's really, really a good food for diabetics. Because the whole thing is, anytime you eat food, your blood sugar goes up, and so this particular vegetable will help regulate. So let's do one more. Again, we're going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to just cut strips. You can make any size you want. If you wanted longer strips, you could do longer strips. We're just doing strips, nice size for the salad.
Okay, so 1 cup of raw nopales contains approximately 13.8 calories.
Okay, so very little calories.
1.14 grams of protein.
Pretty good.
0.08 grams of fat. 2.86 grams of carbohydrates. 1.9 grams of fiber. And 0.99 grams of sugar.
Okay, so very, yeah, good. So very little sugar.
A lot of vitamin A, I think, 19.8 micrograms.
So lots of vitamin A, very little fat, and look at that fiber, guys, 1.9 grams. That's more than a piece of bread, right? And what's the serving size?
That's 1 cup for one cup.
Okay, so yummy. And a lot of my friends in Mexico, and Patrick's sort of in the heart of this country right now, they take this and after it's cooked, you can cook it with eggs for breakfast. You could put it in a taco, lots of different applications. So,
can you eat it raw?
Sure. It's a little slimy. It's a little slimy raw, but yes, you can. And we're gonna make a salsa. That's gonna be the next dish.
Okay, cool.
But we're gonna grill it to make the salsa. So can you guys see a little bit of this slime starting. I don't know if you can see it. There is like it's actually a mucus membrane.
It's kind of like cucumber.
It looks like a spider web, okay? But that's normal. So that's probably a good amount, right, for salad. So while the water is getting ready to boil, and I'm going to save the rest of these cactus for the next recipe, I'm just going to rinse my knives. And we're going to do the orange. And I think all of you were in class when we did this, but I'm just going to show you. We're going to segment the orange. This is also called supreming sometimes. So we're using navel. You could use Valencia. So we're going to cut the top and the bottom off. And remember, at the beginning of every cooking, what do I do, guys, to my knife? Right? What am I going to do?
Sharpen.
Sharpen, right? Okay, so you want to make sure that you've done that. Okay. And then we're going to take our knife and follow it around to get all of the outside off. Okay. And you just like we do melons, I do my watermelon like this, honeydew like this. You're following it all the way around.
Is nopales in the same family as watermelon?
No,
Okay.
definitely not, but it has a flavor like. Okay, so now I have a pretty nice, there's a little bit there that I might try and get off. Let's do one more. Okay, and so the goal is we want to end up with segments. Like if you bought a can of those mandarin oranges, they come in segments. That's what we're trying to get here.
If I ever become rich, one of my vices is going to be I want a chef who will feed me supreme oranges all the time.
Yeah, if we get rich or you win the lottery, yes, you could hire someone to do this for you. It is such a great way to eat oranges. And didn't we do the orange with cinnamon? Did we do that or not yet? Not in the class. Okay, so I'll do one other one. Can you do me one more and I'll show them, we'll make that a dessert. So just do me one more orange in the fridge. All right, so here again is my orange. Beautiful. We're gonna get rid of the skin. Then I'm gonna get rid of my big knife. And I'm gonna go to a small knife. You want like a paring knife, okay? And I'm gonna hold the orange. And I'm gonna follow the natural segment. So my knife's gonna go in one side, down the other, and that segment is gonna come right out. Then I'm gonna follow it again, okay? Next segment. And the segment comes right out. And look how perfect that segment is. So Brandon's having visions of hiring someone, but the rest of us are gonna have to learn how to do it ourselves, okay? So beautiful segment. You could put these in any salad, any kind of salad, okay? So again, follow the edge of that and segment comes right out. And you can see the white, we're getting rid of that white. It's also called pith. So segment again,
That's
You-
good to eat too.
What's that?
That part of the when you cut all the segments off, it's good to eat that pith.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the pith as soon as we're done here. So there, now I've done my orange, and I know I'm going to make a salad dressing. And this is still good, you guys. We don't want to waste this. So we're going to get an orange squeezer.
That's another good picture right there.
And we're going to get a bowl because we know we're going to make a salad dressing. We're going to take that pith and we're going to squeeze out the juice. And that juice is going to go into our salad dressing. Does that make sense to everybody? So we end up with just the pith with no juice. All the juice going into the bowl, okay? And that way we're not wasting and we have delicious flavor. You could make yourself an orange water. You could use it in your salad dressing. So let's just do this one more time. Follow.
Did you use that orange juice like in that banana ice cream stuff?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, you can put it in ice cube trays. You can freeze it. You can put it in sparkling water. You can put it in your smoothie. Yeah, any of those things. And then we're not wasting that center part, right? All right. So almost done here. See how pretty those segments are though? They're gorgeous. And there's something about eating the segment, you do feel it's quite luxurious, right? Because there's no pith, it's just the pure center part of the orange. It's actually, it does feel very luxurious to me. Brandon, you too? Kind of makes you feel like royalty, right?
Yep.
So, and that's because either you did it or someone else did it. All right, so we've got all of our segments. And this goes in our bowl for the salad. So now, again, I'm going to take my center part, put it in my squeezer. You could also use just a strainer or your hands. I would put gloves on and squeeze out the juice and use that in the salad dressing. Okay? So any questions on that part? All right, so the next thing we're going to do, because this is part 3 of this, is we're going to get our burner. So we have our oranges done, yummy. We have the cactus, which is ready to go.
Orange is done.
And water should be boiling. And so what I'm going to do now is, can you guys look at the side view? Over here in the back, my water's boiling, and I'm going to take my cactus. I will. And I'm going to pour that cactus. Oh, I see what you're saying. Let's put it on this burner so you guys can see. So here is the cactus, and I'm going to want a spoon with holes in it, and you can see cactus is in boiling water, okay? And then when I lift it, we're going to let it cook about 1 to 2 minutes. Notice I'm using a pasta pot. So see the 2 handles here? I'm going to be able to lift this when my cactus is done and put it in the pot with the ice. So as soon as the cactus goes from a bright green to a little bit darker green, we're going to remove the cactus and put into the ice water, okay? Put the bowl under, turn the flame off. No, over there, the flame over the camera. And then put the bowl, so move the burner. Put the bowl under the camera, move the burner. And then what I'm gonna do is take my cactus and put it into the water and stop the cooking. Okay, so here cactus has cooked. You can see the color's a little different, and that's what we're going to use for the salad. Okay, so while this is cooling down, we're going to grill our roasted red bell pepper. And all you guys have this because you've done it before. We're just going to blacken. You have one already done, right, Well? Yeah. Roasted red bell pepper, already done? Oh. Okay. So what Walter likes to do is after he's roasted it, he puts it in a towel, and you can see he blackened it all the way around, and then that skin is going to come off just like when we do a chili, right? So we want to just blacken that bell pepper all the way around. So while that's cooking over here, I will peel this pepper here. So we're going to get that skin off. And why would I want to roast the bell pepper instead of using it raw? Anybody?
So it's
Different
softer.
textures.
Yeah. So one reason would be to make it soft. And Brandon, what's the other reason?
Just different textures, mouthfeel.
Right. So instead of crunchy and hard, although we could put that in the salad, we're going to get a nice roasted flavor with the chili that's nice and soft. And we're going to use that, cut it into strips. So
And it's more aromatic, right?
it's more aromatic. It has a better flavor. So now we're going to break open that bell pepper. And I'm going to get rid of the inside here. Get the seeds out, and then I'm just going to rinse it. Will you flip that? Okay, so we can take our towel that has the skin, and then what we're going to do is we have to decide how do we want this to be in our salad. So what would you guys, if you were going to be eating this, do you want little dices or would you want strips?
Slices.
Okay, Brandon wants diced. Anyone else?
Because the Nopal is already in strips.
Right.
What is the texture of them like? Like, are they still slimy? Are they kind of crunchy?
We're going to do that next when we plate of the cactus. The cactus are still a little crunchy. They're in water, so a lot of that slime is coming off. Okay. You just keep turning. Okay, so we're gonna finish roasting this. Okay, so let's finish roasting our bell pepper. So we could do a dice. If we're going to do a dice, we would do strips and then turn it and dice, guys, okay? If we're going to do strips, how do you think it would look pretty? Dice or strips?
I think strips.
So Chef Walter in the background saying he wants strips. So we would just do strips like this. And then not too long. So what I might do is cut that in half. So we have strips that are like the,
I think it's skinny.
okay. And we could do really nice skinny strips. Okay. And then we'll do 2 plates, one with the dice and one with strips, and we'll see which one we like better. All right. So then, should we move that off to the side? Yeah. Just finish it. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the salad dressing. And the salad dressing, which is on your recipe, Walter's going to finish grilling in the background. Where did the orange juice in a bowl?
That's made keep my mouth watering looking at that.
Okay. So this salad dressing is really, really, really easy. What we're going to do is we're going to use, we have our orange, which is still in there. And the recipe says we're going to add some balsamic vinegar. So balsamic vinegar, guys, is inexpensive and sort of a reduction. And it's dark, always dark. So we're going to use that. And then we're going to add some organic reduced sugar, raspberry jam. And this is Trader Joe's, but you can also find this locally. There's quite a few people, or maybe you do your own. So we're going to add some raspberry jam. And then we're going to add some Dijon mustard. I like the smooth Dijon, but you could do one that is a little rough with the seeds in it. And then all we're going to do is take our whisk and we're going to whisk all of that together. we do want to add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of red chili. I like a little bit of red chili, guys. Okay.
What was this sauce you put in the jam or whatever? What was that again?
So this is, can you guys see this?
Other way.
Oh, this way.
Yeah. Okay.
Organic
it?
reduced sugar raspberry. So any kind of jam, if you would rather, you could do blackberry. I like raspberry. We've made it with cherry. You could make it with apricot, but the raspberry goes nice with the citrus and the cactus. So you can see right now that it's nice and thick. I want my salad dressing a little less, so we're going to add some water.
Can I ask, when you're making jam, earlier you said that the prickly pear didn't need any added sugar or anything.
Right.
Is that true for all jams? Like, do you have to add
No.
pectin to it, or?
Some do need to add sugar. Fruit naturally has pectin, but that pectin needs to be released. Will you get a bottle of the prickly pear? So my dressing's a little too thick, so I'm going to use water. The reason I'm using water is because I want to keep this low calorie, and low calorie, if I added oil, we're adding fat. So I want to add water, and then there's no fat. So this would be considered low fat, okay? And then I usually just, after I make it, I put it in a jar and save it. This could be used on any greens that you have. So we're just going to give it a taste. And that has really nice flavor. It's sweet, not too sweet. It's perfect. As it thickens up, you can always add a little more water, and that's the salad dressing. Nope, we're not. I'll be right back.
Okay, LaDonna, look at my sculpture that I made.
I know, it's pretty.
It has wire on it too.
I know, I gotta
just found
find
out
some.
that it's my
And that's the Corona one?
Rona baby, Rona baby, Rona baby, Rona.
It's pretty. I need to do mine this weekend. I gotta do 2 sculptures.
I mean, the mask is toilet paper. You should just get toilet paper, and then it would be found art,
Okay,
like
So-
Marcel Duchamp.
here is, I'll put it on this. This is the prickly pear that I buy. It's A&J, which stands for Al and Jane. This is just from the fruit. This is a syrup. And they're in Socorro, New Mexico. And this is also sold on the website Made in New Mexico. And this is one of my favorite local products. The syrup can be used on ice cream, on yogurt, in a variety of different ways. And so this would be the fruit. Walter likes to put it in sparkling water and make a beverage. You could make a margarita, any of those things.
Who doesn't love a prickly pear margarita?
Who does
I
not
can
love
put
a
it down.
prickly pear margarita? Okay, so we're gonna plate this now. I'll do one and Walter will do one.
Do they sell liquor in Santa Fe still?
I'm in Santa Clara.
Should I make this?
In Santa Fe? Yes.
Yeah. Because all
So
the liquor
now-
stores are closed here.
They're only, like, you can only get it from, like, gas stations or grocery stores.
Oh.
So now we're gonna assemble the salad, you guys. And I'm gonna put gloves on because my clients are going to be eating this right from the plate. And I'm going to take a couple of strips of my roasted red bell pepper. I'm going to take a couple of orange segments. And then I'm going to take some of my cactus. And the cactus is in ice water here, okay? So I'm gonna reach in and get my little cactus strips out. There will be a little of the gel from the cactus, but that's okay. And then we're gonna pour a little of that salad dressing on. Okay. And we're just going to get that salad dressing all over our salad. And then we're going to take a clean plate. And we're going to put some of our orange, some of our cactus. And this is really a refreshing, delicious salad. Okay. And then I'm going to take a spoon with some of my salad dressing. And I'm going to drizzle around. Walter likes to use, we can save a piece of the raw and use it as a garnish. You could make a little design. And then that salad is ready to be served. The last thing we want to do is we're going to sprinkle on our toasted pumpkin seeds, and that's now ready to serve. Can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yum.
Yum. All right, so I'm going to have Walter do another version just so you can see. He'll do that in the background, how he would plate it. Go ahead and do one. But this is really pretty. We have crunch, we have sweet, we have hot, we have our vegetable, really beautiful salad. This would go out. This could be in a fine dining restaurant, or it could be at a feast day. It could be anywhere that we would want to eat this lovely way to have a salad. You could add greens to it, anything you want. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Okay. So we're going to go on to the next recipe. And so one way to cook cactus is to cut it and blanch it. The next way to cook cactus, and Walter will plate another so you can just see another chef's version. Okay. All right. Is we're going to do salsa. And for the salsa, we're going to grill the cactus. And so we're going to get our burner back. And this time, we're going to take the whole piece and we're going to grill it just like we would our roasted red bell pepper, chilies, okay? And we want to blacken this, And as it blackens, it will remove some of that cactus slime, okay? The other ingredients in this dish, yeah, I know. Okay, is we're going to make this the same way we would make like a pico de gallo. So pico de gallo, who knows what that actually means? Anybody?
Something of the chicken.
Yeah, it's actually, so the gallo is the rooster,
A rooster.
and pico de gallo means the peak or the beak, pico, of the rooster. And so what they're saying is that you basically want the ingredients cut the size of a rooster's beak. So pico de gallo translates to mean the size of a rooster's beak. Pretty cool. So for this, we're gonna have cactus, which we're gonna dice, red onion, Roma tomatoes. We're gonna do a jalapeno. And for the jalapeno, what you're gonna do is cut it in half, and then you're gonna take a small spoon, and the easiest way to do this is to take your spoon and get the seeds out so that we can dice it, okay? And then here, Walter's gonna put in front of the camera another version of how he plated it. Go ahead. Can you guys see that? So see, there's another chef version of, no, you're good, it's right here, so just stay. Right there. Can you guys all see that?
Yes.
So just a different view, a different way of plating, right? Everybody, this is the creative part. Or you could just serve it in a big bowl, right? So this is the jalapeno. Jalapeno's not as spicy as the serrano. Serrano is going to be the next chili that we do. And again, we're going to do nice, thin little, and look how beautiful that grilling is. So we're going to now grill the other side here. And if you could watch that while I'm doing it. So, what times? Okay. So once it does, then we'll do the other side. And we're going to dice this pretty fine. So here, tiny little dice. And some of you are going to want stuff hotter. I think Patrick tends to be a little on the less hot side. Brandon, you tend to be a little, probably you and LaDonna, a little on the spicier side, right?
Yeah.
So you could add 2 jalapenos if you want. Patrick, you're going to be adding probably 1 jalapeno, okay? So nice dice there. So that's going to go in our bowl with our onion. Now we're going to do our serrano. And Walter's going to be turning this so we can grill another one. So same thing, I'm going to take my spoon and get out those seeds. This chili is hotter, so the jalapeno is like a 3. This chili is going to be probably a 6 or 7. So I'm only going to use half of this one because it's pretty big. Again, nice little dice. You can always add more chili. What can't you do if you add too much?
Take
Hard to
away.
get it out, right? So do one more. Do you want to do that in the background? So here's our serrano. And then we're going to get a bowl. And we're going to mix together our chilies, our diced tomato, show them that. So there's the basis to our salsa. And then this is almost done grilling. As soon as it's grilled, we're going to do another one. And just put that. So what Walter has done on this one is he put a little bit of oil and a little salt and pepper. And you could actually eat this as a vegetable grilled. It's delicious. Okay. So let's move the, here, put that right here so I can cut it. That burner. So now what we're going to do while he grills one more is we're just going to move this burner, and I'm going to show you how to cut this. So here again, we have grilled the cactus on both sides. And you'll notice that the grilling dries it out. So we're going to have a lot less slime, and we're going to make strips. I'm going to remove that handle, which just doesn't cook as well. And then what we're going to do is dice this. And that's going to get added to the salsa. Okay, so here we have our grilled cactus. And you could actually, if you really wanted to sort of speed this up, you could go to the supermarket and buy some salsa and add the cactus to the salsa. Okay, guys? And we're gonna get some cilantro. Walter's eating the cactus in the background. Is it good? Delicious. So you're gonna get some cilantro. And we're gonna cut the cilantro. To this, we are going to add a little bit of salt, okay, and a little bit of pepper. And then this is going to be delicious. This could be made a day in advance. We're going to have a party. We're going to watch a movie, and we're going to serve this with chips. So it's going to be our chips and salsa. I'm going to get a little bit of cilantro, and the only other thing I'm going to squeeze onto this is lime. So I'm going to get my limes out of the fridge. Oh, lime. And we're going to squeeze a little lime on there. I need to, you'll have to.
You could use this as like a ceviche base, right?
What's that?
Like for ceviche?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be delicious. So we're going to squeeze the lime into our salsa. And can you squeeze? So the recipe says 1 tablespoon of lime juice, which is usually about one lime. And then the only other thing is we're going to dice our cilantro. And you could go rough dice or fine dice. I like fine, if we can do that. And it says, about 3 tablespoons. So we're going to add that to the salsa. And then we have one more of our grilled cactus here. So again, I'm going to cut off that handle, which I was using to grill. And then we're going to take the charred cactus. It's going to have a really nice charred flavor. And we're going to dice it. You get a plate with some chips on it. Okay. So if you wanted more cactus, you could add more. Our recipe says 2. So we've got cilantro, cactus, red onion, lime, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then that's ready to serve. So the way I would serve this is I would just get a nice little, first let's taste with a clean spoon. So it's got nice flavor. I think it could be a little spicier, so I am going to add the rest of my serrano. So we'll just get that chili in there. And your salsa, as it sits, it will get hotter. Let me fill this bowl. Okay, so we're just adding a little more chili. There's our salsa, nice and fresh. This is a great snack, very nutritious. So we're gonna put some in a bowl. And we're gonna serve our salsa. Wow, look at that, guys.
You like? You like?
So we have blue corn chips, white corn chips, pretty little garnish, and ready to go, right? Everybody,
I think I need more chips.
what's that?
I think I'm gonna need more chips.
Yeah, okay. I think so too. So yeah, so that's the salsa. Anybody have any questions on the salsa? Okay. So the last thing I'm going to do, and there's no recipe for this, so we're just going to be creative, is I'm going to take a saute pan, which Walter's going to get for me, and I'm going to saute 2 eggs with some cactus and make a breakfast burrito for breakfast. So we're going to get a saute pan.
Big, small.
And we're going to take the same cactus that we had for the other dish. And can you get some eggs and mix them up? And for this, I am going to use a little bit of oil. So we're using either olive oil or sunflower oil. And you could, if you wanted to, you could add onion and garlic. We're just going to do cactus today. So I'm going to take my cactus from my water and I'm going to put it in the pan. That's probably good. And then what we're gonna do, Walter's gonna just whisk these eggs for me real quick, is we're gonna take some salt. And we're gonna saute that with salt and pepper. You could serve this as a side vegetable as well. We're gonna do it with eggs. And sometimes in Mexico, you can see chefs that use tortillas that are a day old. You could cut those into strips. You could add chips to this if you wanted. We're just gonna do eggs and cactus. Sure, wanna add a little? And then Walter said, what about this? We have a little leftover bell pepper, so we might as well add that, right? Make it nice and pretty. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our eggs. And do a cactus scramble. So I just want to let a little, can you guys see that water in there? I just want to get a little of that water to dry up in my pan. That's just the water from the cactus. And once, see how it's drying up from the flame. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add our egg. And we are going to have cactus scramble. Again, very healthy. And a delicious breakfast. You could serve this with tortillas, or you could serve this with chips. And there is the cactus scramble. Any questions on this?
Looks super good.
Yeah. And for those of you that like chili, you could also take a little bit of red chili, right? And we could just sprinkle that on our dish. And that would give us a little additional flavor. Okay. Yummy. So there's the cactus scramble. Nice. Any questions? All right. So we are going to go in. I'm going to go over the recipes with you guys. Let's want to just show them how we would serve this. Do you guys want to see how we would serve this?
Yes.
Sure. All right, let's get a tortilla.
What are you drinking, Brendan?
Coffee.
It looks
from
so
Baskin
good.
Robbins. I haven't had coffee in so long, but I treat myself.
I got a chai latte yesterday from Starbucks,
Ooh,
and it was amazing.
like the Starbucks here is closed and there's no coffee shops around, so I have to go to Albuquerque to get Baskin Robbins.
Oh my gosh, that is commitment.
Yeah.
Lois,
Treat yourself.
Daya said that her grandma needed her to pick up her medication in Albuquerque, so that's why she's unable to be on Zoom.
Oh, who's that?
Daya?
Oh, Daya. Okay. So I'm using a flour tortilla. And any flour tortilla. You could also use corn. I don't have any corn. So today we'll use flour. And I'm using the grill like we did for our no-fry fry bread. We want to get that tortilla nice and hot. And two ways you could do this. So you could actually put the ingredients in the center and make a burrito, or you could serve it as a bread on the side. How would you guys like to do it? If I were going to do a burrito, I would probably smother it with green chili.
Can we see it plated without the without the burrito?
Sure. So we could
And if
just
you
put
added
our
cheese, you could make a
tortilla.
quesadilla.
Go ahead and put it on like that. So there's our tortilla. And then here is our breakfast scramble. Beautiful. So a little more. I would just do a little more. There you go. So you could serve your tortilla on the side. Again, Walter and I love garnish. We would probably do a little garnish. And there's your delicious breakfast with a tortilla. Okay.
Lois, how much would that plate be in your kitchen?
How much would I charge for this?
Yeah.
Somewhere between probably about $9.
How much did it cost to make?
Well, that's the cactus. So I used 2 cactuses and they're about 80 cents each. Bell pepper, I used about a third and they're about $1, so 33 cents. Eggs, probably the most expensive part of that. Let's say the tortilla is about 17 cents. So we're up to 33 and 17, 50, 250. And then probably another $1. So eggs are about $6 a dozen. That's 50 cents each. I used 2 eggs. So that's $1. So $3.50. So the markup would be 200%. And
Yeah, you get that hustle, girl. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's still a pretty good. That's still a pretty good budget meal if you wanna make it yourself and eat it. That was good.
correct. So
Yeah.
your cost would be $250 to $350 depending on what kind of eggs you're buying. I'm buying really good local farm eggs. So they're about 50 cents each. Other eggs might be a little less. So yeah, you could figure it would cost you $2 to $3 for a full breakfast with a tortilla. And yeah, that's a budget meal, not bad. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's a great question, Patrick, because, but I did use labor, which has to get added into that $9. And then I also used electricity, and gas, right? So that has to get added in.
But it's a labor of love.
Labor, well, this is a labor of love right now, but in the professional world, yeah, you're paying someone. I mean, Brandon's cactus salad with the oranges is going to cost him a lot because he's paying someone by the hour to cut the oranges for him. So he's spending a little bit more than the rest of you guys. But an orange is what? 75 cents? 50 cents?
Yeah.
Cactus, you can get a whole one for 50 cents, 20 cents, depending on the time of year. And
There were
then
Asian
bell pepper.
pears.
What's that?
There were Asian pears at Sprouts the other day for like $3
Yeah.
for one.
So again, that's not something we would be putting in this dish because that's an expensive item. Yeah, good. So we're gonna go in, I'm gonna go in and sit down and we'll go over our recipes. Big thank you to Walter, you guys.
Thank you, Walter.
Thank you, Walter.
What? Go ahead. And then he wants me to tell a story to you guys. So we're sort of at the end of winter, spring. I'm only supposed to tell the story in winter because that's when we do our storytelling time. So I'm gonna unpin that video and let's pin this video. So let's go over the recipes. Let's go over the first one. You guys, did you find the recipes on Canvas?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody found the recipes on Canvas?
Yes.
Cool. So you want to do the salad first? So we'll do the cactus pad salad first, and included in your recipe is a little sheet, cooking with prickly pear and cooking with nopales. And I'm just gonna get rid of. All right. So the idea of using cactus has literally been used for hundreds, if not thousands of years. And Patrick's in cactus country. They're used all throughout Mexico. What's odd is they're used less north of the border, and yet they're inexpensive. They're so healthy. It's a great vegetable. It can be used in a lot of different ways. So I would highly recommend that you guys try and use it at some point in your cooking career. Brandon, have you ever used cactus?
Just in Santa Fe.
Just in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the salad is 2 cactus pads that are cleaned, trimmed, and cut. You could dice them. I did strips. We're going to put it in boiling water and blanch it, and then put it in a bowl of ice water. We're going to have, and this will serve 6 people. So, you know, Patrick, if we're costing this out, we're going to do 3 oranges for 6 people. So that the serving size is about a half an orange per person. 6 cactus pads, and they literally are, I think they were under $1 a pound, and there's got to be 3 or 4 of them in a pound. So about 25 to 30 cents each. And I'll have to look, maybe the receipt's right here. Let's see. Nopales, they were 83 cents a pound, and I bought 9 cactus pads, and that was under 3 pounds. So it's about 3 pads per pound. So it's about not even 30 cents a pad. Okay. 2 red bell peppers. That probably is the biggest high dollar item this week. Bell peppers were like $1 each. I don't know why. So those were the most expensive. And then the pumpkin seeds, also a little bit higher dollar, but it's going to add that crunch. And we're using a 1/4 cup of those. So segment your orange, cook your cactus, put it in water, add your red bell peppers, make your vinaigrette. And that vinaigrette is going to be enough for 12 salads. So again, very little cost. And Margarita's making something. What are you making? Salsa.
I'm shredding chicken for chicken enchiladas.
Oh, see? So we're all coming over Margaritas for dinner now that we have salsa. Yeah. Yummy.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it, guys, on that dish. For the salsa, we're going to grill those nopals. You could also grill them for the salad. Grilling dries them out. You have a little bit less of that liquid or that slime. Tomato, onion, jalapeno, serrano, cilantro, fresh lime, salt and pepper. And that's it. So it's a perfect salsa to incorporate. There's only one restaurant that I know of that serves a cactus salsa, and that's in Santa Fe, and it's called Los Patrios. Has anybody ever been there? It's a Mexican restaurant.
I've been to Los Postrillos before, but I did not like their ceviche, so I'm kind of angry.
Oh, she's angry. Okay. Did you try their cactus salad, though?
I did not.
Okay, so it's pretty good. That's on the menu. Los Patrios is more traditional Mexican than it is New Mexican. Patrick, you might find this cactus salad in some of the little stalls. You know how they have little stalls in the markets, the street vendors. Have you seen it anywhere?
Yeah, I've seen it. This is San Miguel de Allende. It's a very wealthy historic town. They have every high-end, restaurant you can think of. So, you can find something like that probably for sure.
Yeah. So you can eat it out, but it's important, that you guys learn how to make it. There is no recipe. I guess I could make one up, write it down for the scrambled eggs, but we did leftover bell pepper from our salad, sauteed with the cactus, and added eggs to it with salt, pepper, and chili. So again, you could stuff that inside a burrito, or you could eat that tortilla on the side. And healthy, nutritious, delicious. Brandon read those nutrition facts on the cactus. So it's actually a very, very, very healthy food. If you don't want to buy it fresh and you don't want to make it from scratch, you can buy it in a jar. It's already made. You just take the liquid out of the jar, and then you would use it in a lot of different ways. Some people use the cactus in migas. Migas is traditionally leftover stale tortillas with eggs, and they add a little cactus. So